And it's on.
3, 2,
1. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. A lot happened since the last time we've seen each other. Yeah. But you know we're gonna keep rolling with the punches.
That's all we do, man. We roll with the punches, y'all.
You know me.
Get in tune with the glaring over the mezzanine, grown with a pack of dogs who enhances my pedigree. I can give you my heart in full, though the skill is so separately. Comb through this nappy fro, calibrating my energies, fully intact with the symphony, infiltrating their industry at the point where my aura spills, engulfing their entities who live in fear. If tempting me, please be aware of you coming clear. Transparency keeps me grounded, my crystals here. Literal passion, metaphysical actions, lyrical and assassin. I have little to no room for a fraud in his acting. Fools fraudulently flashing, put a pause to the back end, niggas off to be lacking. But we'll post on the social like it is all the way cracking. Flow like releasing the kraken. I am tapped in. Accepting your validation, yo, I lead your soul into passion. I am so in the casting in Christ and light, I will shine through my casket. If you are blinded by fashion, or the kind to be latched on to a celebrity for his material legacy, you are physical treachery. What is worthy of idol?
I gotta work with ball.
Yeah,
spread
the dookie, man.
Yeah,
spread the dookie.
Spread the dookie. That is song of the week. What's the name of that song, Swank?
That's Majesty off of Pray for Boo, man. That's on SoundCloud. I believe it's on all streaming plats. But Second Wound, y'all gotta look up Second Wound.
Yes, sir.
Man, Dookie on that joint. He murdered that track, man. It's stupid.
Yeah, man. Well, gentlemen, without further ado, this is episode 3 of Faneet, the podcast. We're not fucking stopping, man. Not stopping, man.
What up?
Yeah, man. It's your host, man. Eazymelow, and I'm here with the coolest niggas in the world. I mean, we got LL Cool Skates. You know what I'm saying? We got MF Swanky.
Talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? We got The House. We got Faneet the Pod. We got Make Believe. We got Stay Dangerous.
We got the low lives.
We got the low lives. We got eclectic vision. We got $1 million in this fucking room.
No cap.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. Just had to give that epic intro, man. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all feeling this week?
Feeling great, man. Feeling groovy. It's been a long week, bro. I've done a lot. Shit, man. I'm just grateful to be here once again, bro. I feel like every time we sit here, I feel a lot more like relaxed. We recalibrate. Just as, all three of us just sitting down, man. I enjoy these. It's like therapy sessions.
Yeah, man.
For real.
Absolutely.
We're doing this for y'all. Yeah. Therapy for the world, man. What about you, Skates? What you get into this week, man?
Man, I feel accomplished.
Yeah.
It's nothing better than when you set a goal and then you finally cross off that entire list of things that you want to do, especially like when you plan it for the next quarter or like the next couple quarters.
Hell yeah.
So I'm solid. It's just time to put the bread together to do the right things and put everything in motion the way that I need it to go. So
that's what's up, bro.
I'm just sitting like this now, laughing maniacally.
The Birdman hands, you know what I mean?
I'm on the same tight time, bro. It's been a good week for me too, man. Just been detoxing, just been leveling up, just been learning about myself, man, and really understanding where I want to go as far as like from a branding standpoint. Yeah, just even as just a person too. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding where I want to go in life and how I want to get there. Niggas have always had this goal in mind, destination. And I feel like before I was like, I'm trying to run, to get to China. I'm trying to run, get to Florida. And it's like, now I feel like I got a will. Hey. And now I'm starting to feel like the will's upgrading. I was in a Crown Vic. Now nigga might be in a supercharger, you feel me?
And you're not trying to fix the car with one butter knife.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like
Niggas
is getting the nice wheel with some speed on it. The air,
that's real right.
The roads is clearing up. You feel me? So I don't know. It's been a good week, man. I've been networking. I've just been connecting with people and really trying to do some team building, man.
Yeah, that's what's up too, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Over the weekend, man, I watched this. It's a joint on Netflix called The Playlist. And it's pretty much a mini series about how Spotify got started.
Okay,
but it's not shot like a documentary though. It's shot like a movie.
Yeah,
like it's hard. Like each episode is like a different main player into how Spotify got started. And
that different sector to like the business, like business management, the coders and programmers and shit like that.
I remember I came in the other night and Easy was like, "Bro, you gotta check that joint out." It's about Spotify, and I'm like, said, bro, Spotify? Do I really care? But he was like, nah, but you really want to know the analytics and like how this business was started and how they got it off the ground, like point blank period. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out on some homework shit. Yeah,
that joint just for me, man. It just gave me insight into like how important it is to build that team. You know what I'm saying? Like having a solid team. Like Boy alone that started it was already in his tier doing what he had to do. But each person that they show were in a tier of their own as far as like resources, thought process. You know what I mean? It really shows like to create something giant, no matter what sacrifice you give, you gotta have that solid team. So all week I've been on that mindset. I already know I got y'all niggas. We're solid. But we just need clones of us. You feel we need other people who are on the same tier.
We don't need clones of us. We need people who are extremely good at the one thing that they do. And they're not clouded by trying to do a billion things, because that one thing that they do exceedingly well is all that they do.
And that's facts. That's facts.
So to kind of piggyback off of that, I was speaking to Sk8z from Altruistic Vision. And that's a band out of the county. And his girlfriend, I believe, plays the saxophone, and another person plays the keys. They just got a full band, and I was thinking about the house and how we can extend that and make it so much bigger. Because you think of these tiny desk, concerts, and you see these different bands, and even just like bigger artists having huge moments.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, that's one thing the county definitely had, bro. It's just musicians. How crazy and cool would it be to like have all these people in the same room or for a record, knowing who to use? You know what I mean?
With that
like,
being said, if you are a musician who was in the county and you're dope, join the Think Mob Discord. We will put it here. Know what I'm saying? And it'll be in the link in the description, because not only is it for musicians, but it's for artists of all caliber. So if you need it and you want to share it and you got it and you want to get paid off of your craft, I'm trying to make it so that everybody can build. So if you're an instrumentalist, if you're an artist, being a rapper, DJ, producer, whatever it is that you do, if you do graphic design, you know what I'm saying? If you're a producer, everybody has a resource that somebody else can use. And I want to make it like our own sector of like an alignable, but just for like the county. You feel me?
Yeah, on some like referral based program.
Pretty much.
I like that.
That's dope, bro. And I feel like that's super necessary, man, because like the thing about the county is we've always had the talent. We've always had the people. But I feel like one thing we've lacked in the county is like unity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, not even a lot of people, everyone in the county has to go to Philly to do shows. They got to go somewhere outside of their area. And it's mainly because, we don't have a lot of venues or a lot of spaces in the county to do these things. So I feel like for me, man, one of the things I really want to do with y'all and just build is like provide those opportunities, like when we did with the League of Legends days, but finding ways to level it up. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like every one of those moments we stamped and solidified the brand.
Yeah,
what
man.
I mean? And that's one thing we talked about the county not really having, but also Philly never really had, you know what I mean, as far as like great artists. Not saying every artist out of Philly didn't have this, but specific ones, might not pop off. Like I know a lot of people in the county that were great, like great guitarists, great drummers.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? And some of them are actually cooking. Like we could talk about Benny X. We could talk about Bradley. Like there's certain people that are.
What's
you know what I mean?
Remember
cooking.
Bam's like wife was married to, what was the boy name that used to skate and
Nigel.
he played guitar? Nigel. Yeah.
Yep.
Nigel was another amazing guitarist, and I think he's touring right now with somebody. But
Crazy.
Outside, like we just
a
have
lot
so
of talent, bro. A lot of talent came out of the county, and specifically just the side of the coast. So I think it's our job to not even just it's rappers or artists to just put them on, but it's people. Like come together as a community and be like, yo, how have you been? It's been 10 years since I've seen you. You know, like,
And even
how was tour? You know what I mean? Like how was that shit? Share these experiences, and that's gonna help us all grow.
That's facts, man. And I feel like that's gonna add to our legacy. I feel like Philly has an amazing legacy of artists and talents. From the list goes, you feel me, from the Jasmine Sullivans onward, you feel me. And I feel like the county has it, but it's more low key. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of turn around and be like, damn, the drummer for Lady Gaga lives in Drexel Hill.
You know why that is
saying?
though? It's the Naughty by Nature effect, and I call it that because Naughty by Nature was fire, but when Queen Latifah brought them out, she basically had to tell them like, yo, like, come perform in New York, just don't say you from Jersey.
Oh shit!
That's crazy. Everybody looks down on the county the same exact way. It'd be so many niggas. Like, even we went to Upper Darby, bro. Everybody went to Upper Darby, and you've been in Upper Darby your whole life. But
right. Try to act like you from Philly.
Try to act like you from Philly,
Right.
bro.
Yeah,
Like,
you go to Philly on the weekends, like, no, I ain't from out here.
Right.
Yeah, bro,
Like,
but you been to Stonehurst, BH in the high.
right.
Crazy
You
thing
from-
is too,
you got
like,
put on in the county, bro. Like,
I grew most of my life, bro. I grew up in the county, but I was born here in Philly, and now that we currently live in Philly, I can say that. But 70%, a good portion of my life, you know, growing up as a kid, teenager, puberty,
right.
middle school, high school, like a lot of that was just spent growing up with y'all. But even like learning, bro, you learn a lot out there in the county. We got a little more space, we got a little more time out there, and like I said, I think that's another reason why the talent is out there as well, because people have that small sector to really hone in on whatever that craft is.
And to think a little freer, too. Like, me and Easy had this conversation. Like, we attribute a lot of the reason as to why it is that we're able to do what we physically do because of the graphic design program and the computer generated arts class.
I do remember that,
like,
John.
that in itself, just learning how to use Photoshop, learning how to type. Like, I remember being in high school and I was rapping with my cousin Jew, rest in peace, and he came past and he was just watching me type on Facebook one day, and he was like, "Yo, like, why do you type so fast?" And I was like, "What you mean?" And then it hit me. I was like, "Y'all don't have computers like that at y'all school,
right?"
You know what I'm saying? So like,
I do remember a typing class. I hated that joint, but I do remember having everyone sitting there. Like,
bro.
But actually having a class dedicated to that, like, we were definitely gifted. And I'm grateful to be from the county to a degree, specifically because we had programs, but also I was in like broadcast journalism my junior and senior year.
were.
You know
I do
what
remember
mean?
that.
Like, directing the class my senior year, learning how to be behind the cameras, actually talking to a whole team of people, they actually knowing what their job is and breaking that down, and then taking all that footage, you know what I mean, chopping that up, putting music behind it. And as a kid not getting paid for it, and this is a grade, it was like cool, but I got to put my craft into it. I got to throw Nas on the intro, you know what I mean? So it was cool, little things like that. And knowing I might not be on camera at all, but my name's at the end of it. It's going up in the credits, you know what I mean? So to be where I'm at now, I'm like, I'm grateful to have that knowledge, you know what I mean? Okay.
That's facts, man. And I'm just having an epiphany now, just thinking back, man. Like, when I was like, you know, I play guitar and shit now, you know, Skates, you were a big part of that. But on my own journey of just pursuing it myself, bro, I got into a piano keyboard theory class. And then after piano keyboard theory was jazz fundamentals. And you could only take jazz fundamentals if you pass piano keyboard. So I didn't know what jazz fundamentals was, but I'm like, it's music, I might as well do it. Jazz fundamentals for me was so dope because it was personalized. It was like, okay, whatever instrument you play, bring it in, we got something for you. You play the guitar, bring your guitars in. You play bass, bring it in. You play drums, we got a set in the back. And every week when we had our homework, it was like, all right, bet, you got to play this song, and by Friday, you got to perform it in front of everyone. Drummer, this is going to be a pattern. You're in the flute, this is going to be a pattern. And just for me, you know, having guitar homework, it pushed me to a different tier. And even meeting a lot of other people who was in that class who was dope, and you know what I'm saying, I'm still cool with some of them to this day. A lot of them aren't making music, but they still see me and they still respect what we got going on. So it's like, I'm definitely grateful to be able to, you know, go to the high and experience, you know, type of shit we experience, because I know definitely everybody ain't got that shit. You know what I mean?
Real. Philly definitely does need more resources. You know what I mean? Just as far as, I don't even know just the schools, because there's a lot of private schools, you know what I mean, like Catholic schools and whatnot, but also public schools. You don't really see like playgrounds and like real big football fields with kids actually being able to enjoy themselves. Like, I saw the let out for the high school, you know, right by Sk8z and Broad. That's where they get off the train, and that's their let out right there.
Yeah, the train is their let out.
Packed out, side by side with fiends. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it was to let out. You know our let out back in the county. We go down to McDonald's. You know what I mean? By the gas station.
Right, and there wasn't no Faneets. We were the Faneets.
Exactly.
Whereas, like, like you're saying, Broad Sk8z, they getting out the let out. It's fiends down there. It's niggas trapping out there. It's
a whole bunch of police, like
the police, and they on edge because it's all these kids, and you know they be scared. So it's just like, it's a weird environment that their let out was. Our let out was the worst thing. At our let out was niggas going to McDonald's and niggas rumbling.
Yeah, fighting and getting jumped and all that. But
dumb shit.
Yeah,
it's just in comparison, man. I definitely want better for the city for sure. But talking about the county, even nowadays, I'm not going to say that crime has spilled from Philly into the county, but there's definitely a violence, homicide rate.
It's definitely increased.
Increased in the county that I never would have thought would have been there. You know what I mean?
I feel like, and it's the reason why all of us ended up in the county. Everybody, mom that wanted to get out of the city, but was probably on Section 8, because I know that this is speaking from my own personal experience. But like everybody, mom who was on Section 8 realized like, oh yeah, the county got Section 8 up this way too, and I want to get my kid in a better school and in a better situation, in a better environment, so that they don't have to grow up the way that we grew up. Even though their generation was light years crazier than you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I grew up seeing, like I remember before I came to the county, like I remember not being able to go to the playgrounds and seeing needles on the ground or like glass everywhere, shit like that. Like I remember seeing pipes everywhere and shit like that.
I couldn't leave my front steps. Like the stoop kid couldn't leave your stoop. I couldn't even really go to my front step. My mom would be like, stay at the door.
Yeah.
You could look out. If I walked to the Poppies, my mom's at the door the whole time watching me go to the corner store and back. But there was no playground. And there was a playground right up the street.
Bro, I didn't know that my original house in West had a backyard, because it was nothing but small. No, it's not even because it was so small. It was so many fiends, and it was nothing but needles in the backyard.
That it was just like, we not even gonna go back.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Yeah. Philly got a different type of trauma, but also like I talked about the violence, but we also talking about the drug use.
Yeah,
you know, drug use in Philly is insane right now. And it's wild,
and it's gotten worse, man. It's just, you know, I never want to be the person when we come on here to act like I got all the answers or that we got all the answers. You feel me? But it just gets to a point, bro, where it's like niggas don't got all the answers, but what y'all doing? There's gotta be a way y'all know this not working. You know what I mean? I was watching the video the other day.
Yeah.
Nigga in Kensington, you know, this dude was pretty much just breaking down how he gets his high. And he's pretty much just saying, and I didn't know it was to this degree. He's pretty much like, yeah, you know, casually, very casually, like we're talking. Yeah, you know, go to the little clinic, go to the spot. They give us needles. If I come in with 10 needles, they'll give me 20 clean ones.
It's not just needles, bro.
You know
they give him the armband.
Yo, and they give him the whole stimulus.
They give him a whole pack.
Yeah, and then they go outside. And then now they trapping them Jones. He said, I'm selling them. So now I gave him 10 needles. I got 20. I sell the needles, get the dope. He said, they give me the bag. I got water. I got the arm Jones. So now they can go self-sustainably continue their habit on the government or whoever's funding this is dime. And I knew to some degree it was like that because they got the clean centers. I just didn't know, like, wow, like, y'all literally, I don't understand what the argument is of how they think that can help. It's just, you know, and even worse, you know, back when our people was on crack in the 90s, we didn't get this type of treatment. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get, not saying we needed it, but they didn't look at us in the same way as these people need help.
I'm going to be honest, bro.
You know what I mean?
I feel like we experiment to a degree. It's like we're experimenting. Because I don't even want to say it, but my granddad, you know, he messed around with crack. You know what I mean? And that, for me, when I heard it out of his mouth, I was like, you? Like, my grandpa? Because he never would have looked like he fucked around with it. But he was like, look, nobody told me not to. It wasn't like,
and no one knew what it was yet.
Exactly. So when he went through it, you know, he went through crazy stuff with my grandmom, out the crib, out in the corner type shit. And I'm like, I would have had no idea you went through this. But the ecosystem then was so fresh and so new that the government was responding however they responded. I'm not going to get in on, you know, how I feel as though crack got to the streets.
Right.
But
Snowfall.
CIA.
Snowfall.
I'll leave that off. Just watch 1, 2, and 3 seasons of that. But side note though, like the ecosystem now is just like you said, it's damn near government funded, and it's around cities where kids are growing up, and you seeing this on a norm. And to be back in Philly with you, know what I mean, and to understand where we came from, you know, obviously where our folks came from got us out of Philly. Now we back in Philly and seeing it as growing men. It's like, wow, what can we do to change it? You know what I mean? And that's why I think I was rooted in Start and Stay Dangerous. But side note, beside that is like buying property, buying this space so we could actually develop it in time. You know what I mean? And provide these resources for the younger generation.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I really think that's the wave. And I feel like at the end of it, man, what that comes down to is self-mastery. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of us, we have, like, the black dollar is powerful. We spend, like, our black dollar is billions a year. We spend it on, you know, Gucci's and Jordans and stuff. And it's a matter of learning to understand yourself. You know, I feel like a lot of people are just lost. You know, they haven't had the proper guidance or the proper role models. So I feel like with that, it gets to a point where a lot of it's just self-soothing. You know, if you've been through Faneet, you know, your dad wasn't there, you've seen your friend get shot, your homies on drugs, and you've been through your own Faneet. It's like, and you got media marketing to you, oh, you feel better by getting a pair of Gucci. You feel better by this. You know, we're humans. All these stimuli are eventually going to get to you. And if no one gets to you and tells you anything different, or if you don't have that awakening within yourself because you're not in a safe space like the county or something like that, it gets really hard. You know what I'm saying?
That's not to say the county was safe. Cause
no, not to say that it's safe.
Look, I had 12 broken ribs just on my way to your crib.
I do remember that. Yeah,
12 broken ribs.
Your brother was going to kill somebody that day.
Listen, I rode around with the broken ribs trying to figure out who jumped me. But at the end of the day, man, like, the violence, I don't think it's ever going to stop, but we got to learn how to actually protect ourselves. And it comes down to, you know, you can be safe, but you got to, like, really learn how to be dangerous and break down yourself on some interpersonal shit. Like, all right, I wasn't even a tough guy back then, but just being aware. I had my headphones in. I was skateboarding. I'm in La La Land. Kurt was like, yeah, watch out for the, you know what I mean? These folks on this side of the track. But I was like, man, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Come to find out. Bing, bing, bonk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've definitely been jumped a plethora of times.
We definitely.
You know what I mean? The county, like I said, I'm not going to make it the safest space, but compared to living where I came up at, our first house before we moved to the county, Swink, was literally down the street from Van Pelt. I'm sorry, not from Van Pelt, from Alden.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like it literally, I could have walked to my old crib. Southwest. So it's like, Southwest. So it was like the county was definitely better than that part of Southwest, without a doubt. You know, no place in Philadelphia suburbs is gonna be 100% anything. You know, but like I said, just niggas are just grateful, and I feel like what we're doing now, having these conversations, and then ultimately providing these platforms, we start throwing these events and building community. This is gonna be a way just for people to channel, because a lot of people, if they can't channel that shit, bro, they're gonna Faneet in some way.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm even full circle moment, like the parallel. We talked about the crazy talent that comes out of the county in Philly.
Yep.
Think about why.
The diamond in the rough mentality.
But also channeling, when you have that moment of realizing, like, what am I gonna do with, like, whatever I got going?
Yep.
The fact that you could not make it to next month, you put everything on the line with certain stuff.
That's
you know what I mean? And with that being said, it's an energy, a synergy, I think, with certain artists that they really hit a peak. And it's like, with that intensity, with that drive, with that animosity, the world's gonna, like, love you for that. You know,
that's facts.
It's inspiring.
It's crazy. It comes back to the black experience, quote unquote, in America, period. Like, we go through traumatic shit and we find ways to manifest it and turn it into wealth or success or whatever you want to call it. And it's something that, you know, we shouldn't have had to learn how to do, but it's just a skill that we have, man, as a people. We turn our trauma into success, turn our traumas and pains into something beautiful, transmuting it. And, you know, I think that's dope, but I feel like once you get to a certain point, and this is from anywhere, this isn't even just Philly, we could take this universal, and I feel like once you get to a certain level, you gotta leave out of your hood. You feel me? Or you gotta leave from the people that you know are in it. Because think about it. Let's think about it. Let's think about the richest, and not even richest, the wealthiest people. Will Smith, does he live in Philly? You know what I'm saying? He could live anywhere in Philly where there's nice and the security, but he doesn't live here.
All right, so you know? I look at that like a replotting.
Replotting, what do you mean?
Replotting or repotting. Like, you know, you might have
you get big and you got to put it in a different joint.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like you grown,
exactly.
You know your roots here.
Yep.
You know this is big.
Yep.
But you know the size of the pot you're in. You know what I mean? And to really grow,
you got to get in a different one.
You got to repot.
Or you will die. Or stop growing. You will die. Or stop growing. One or the other. Your plant can die.
You know
I'm just tired of I'm tired of coming on the show and talking about somebody else getting shot, somebody else dying, somebody else doing.
That's facts.
But it's 100%. It's like, even if you are loved in your hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, you, rest in peace to Takeoff. It's like, bro wasn't even in the mix. Like, he was not meant to get hit. But it's like, being in that environment just to, and like, I understand the dynamic of it, because it's like, when you get to that level, you don't want to get sweet. Like, you want to remain sharp, and you want to still also, like, build with the people and help them try to come up as well. Like, not to say that he was in his own hood, but still, it's like
he was in Texas. But
it's just something. It's something comfortable about being around what you came out of.
Right.
It's something familiar about it. It don't feel crazy. It feels like home, and it's always gonna feel like home. But it's like
that's facts. And it's to piggyback off of that, man. I feel like too, like people when they get that type of money, you know, like you can travel the world and go to different countries and you experience that highest of heights. You want to be grounded in a sense, and I feel like that element of the hood, not even your hood, just that element of that pressure, I feel like is what people were looking for.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, because like just real quick, I remember when I went to Germany, I met this dude out there, and I forget his name, but he was 53 years old and he was from Chicago. He was black. He was out there, he was doing technological stuff. Long story short, he had created some machine that goes on his hand. Anytime he moves his finger, it creates a sound. Anytime he moves his hand, it modulates that sound. Long story short, after we're talking, he's talking about how great Germany was. And I was like, if Germany's so great, why don't you live here? And he said, I always want to stay close to my people. When you get to a certain tier, you go somewhere else, these other places you're not from, they're going to gas you to a degree. They're not going to give you the real. You know what I'm saying? So when you have money, I feel like, and you have status, and you're around all these rich millionaires in these rooms, they'll give you a certain level of energy. But I feel like some of the people that's really rooted in, you know, the trenches or whatever, they miss that synergy of the niggas that got it out the mud.
The Sankofa of it too, bro.
The Sankofa of it. They're like, I don't want to lose this element. And the sad part is,
I gotta give it back.
Yeah,
I have to give it back.
And the sad part of it is, people are lurking and they take advantage of that.
Right.
Yeah, man. Just RIP to Takeoff, man. RIP to PNB Rock too, man. Like that.
Man.
That's another one.
We didn't get to say that last time, man. Like that shit was crazy too. It's just, it's just sad that we live in a day and age where, people that aren't like, just people in general, like especially not, we don't care about celebrities or anything like that, but it's just crazy that rappers is a thing now of them being killed. Before things would happen and we'd be like, damn, like Pac died. Damn, Big died. It was a big thing. Now it's like becoming a trend almost.
Yeah.
And that's what's fucked up. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's becoming too normal. Like we've lost a lot of people to death specifically in the last few years alone.
Months
and years.
Yeah.
Months. Just like
it's because it's a target. It's a target. You got a target on your back as a rapper. I know we know this within ourselves, but also just you have a target once you have money.
Facts.
You have a target once you have a voice. You have a, but I think there's ways to move, but I don't even think we've all really figured that out yet.
So You know what? Is it that you have a target on your back as a rapper when you have money, or is it that you have a target on your back because of the content that you put out? Because it's like somebody like J. Cole can ride a bike in the street in New York whenever he feel like it and ride his bike all through Canada.
With no security
and be straight.
Remember I was just saying it's how you move. I mean, I think it's also in your music as well.
I think it's the content.
I think it should be parallel. You know what I mean? What you're saying and what you're doing should match. And I think that honestly helped Cole or helped certain rappers like Black Thought to be at the caliber he's at.
Right.
Lives in New York, you know what I mean, doing the night show, but probably frequents back and forth to Philly.
Right.
We have no idea, you know what I mean? Because you're so low key, you got to move a certain type of way. And the understanding of Philly.
And I think too, man, it's a certain level of balance that niggas need, because it's like, when you're wealthy to any degree, you're always gonna have a target on your back, no matter what. When the sharks see you, they see food.
They see food, bro.
Regardless. So if you're that, then on top of that, in a sense, even if it's not your intention, you're antagonizing people with the content you put out. Like I'm smoking on dead ops, I'm shooting your cousin, I'm doing this, we're fucking on this, like fuck y'all niggas, fuck you, like just all those negative affirmation. There are people, a lot of people in the hood, man, are mentally fucked up. There's a lot of mental health disorders going on, and people are triggered. They don't know they're being triggered. Niggas is triggered. So you saying, yeah, man, fuck the ops, fuck y'all niggas. It could be a nigga listening that's not related to anyone at all of what you're talking about, but because you're bringing that energy, they look at it as a challenge.
Yeah.
What?
But let's bring it to a point where you even just saying with J. Cole, like he makes a certain type of music.
Exactly.
But what type of music does he make? People call it conscious music. And what is consciousness? Awareness. You know what I mean? So being aware that you have a target on your back or that there's sharks out here and I'm food, the difference is I'm not going to be comfortable out here in a room full of sharks if I'm food.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's riding his bike through New York. You know what I mean? But I'm not really making
Manhattan,
stops. I'm not
like
I mean, I'm not going through.
But he is though. There's a video of him literally ordering a cheesesteak from a regular ass New York joint. No bike, no security, like nothing. Even Kanye. There's videos of Kanye walking around with no one getting ice cream.
I think those are moments in hip hop that can get spooky if someone knows your location. Like there's certain ways rappers understand you can't post your location and stay in that location for too long. You know what I mean? There's certain rules. Once you hit a certain virality or fame, quote unquote,
you gotta move a certain way.
Can't stay in certain places. So I know that's what happened with PME Rock. I know that's what happened with Pop Smoke. You know what I mean?
I want to know why that conversation isn't being had from the higher ups that walk through it personally.
What do you mean when you say higher ups?
I want to know why that conversation isn't happening from people who've been in the industry, seen it all.
Fact, they probably are, bro.
They probably are, bro. Niggas is hard headed, bro. A lot of people, it's a lot of egos. Yeah. Like think about it. If I'm 25 years old, my mom and dad was on crack, and I just signed $1 million deal, and I ain't never had shit. And you're in that mentality. It's not a lot the old nigga gonna be able to tell you because a lot of these young boys is hard headed.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it, it's levels to it, man. But to the people listening, I guess the point we're trying to give is no matter what you are, you could be a mailman. If you know that you're in a certain area, or if you know that you're of a certain tier, you gotta move a certain way. Just in general, especially in Philly. Like I see a lot of y'all young boys, man, like late night, y'all coming home from work, y'all on the bus, y'all got y'all headphones in. You gotta be alert.
Not even just that, like mashed up. Like my thing is, it's one thing to be food to a shark, but I'm not food. So when I'm looking on the bus and I'm thinking there could possibly be sharks, you could be 14 under this mask.
Right.
You could be, 12. I have no idea because young boys is tall. You hit your puberty early, low growth spurt. But I'm behind me. I'm double checking. You know what I mean? Because you all black masked up. I can't even see nothing but your eyes.
Right. I don't know what type of time you
So it's like there's a level of awareness we got to understand. Like even when we dress, how you look when you look in the mirror, as a person. Like I'm not an OG. I'm 29 years old. You know what I mean? But if you 20 years old, and this is your fit for the night, just understand this is a character that you feeling.
And this can draw a certain
and this real life ain't Grand Theft Auto, bro.
And also too, it goes to our sisters as well, man. Like, for everybody, you gotta be aware of the messages and energies you're sending out. Okay. You can't walk around with a shiesty. Like there's a video of this old head, which was thorough. Old head was checking this young boy in Philly. Young boy was walking around with a shiesty. He had like one of them guns that shoot the beads that look like real Glocks.
Yeah.
He had one of them with an extendo hanging out of his hoodie pocket. And he was just walking around, and the old head like came to him. Not even old, he probably our age. He was like, "Young boy, like you gotta be careful." He said, "Bro, I'm strapped, bro. I don't know you. You're walking around with a clip hanging out." And he pretty much just trying to give him game, like, "Bro, this is not it. You can't wear this type of you lay and not understand the energy that come with it."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just say that to everybody, man. Just be aware, y'all. Like, understand. We're in a day and age where you can do whatever you want, but you gotta understand. It's gonna be consequences or things that come with it.
Let's tap into that right there, because it's like
the consequences.
No, not even just the consequences. Like we're in a day and age where you can do everything you want, but we're in a day and age where you can do everything you want because everything is cool, and there's a beauty to that. It's like it's cool to be conscious. It's cool that you want to, that you want to dress alternative, you want to be alternative and be on some rock shit. It's cool that you want to be as super gritty and grungy as possible and want to get it in and wear a mask and do all of that. Like, it's cool that we're in a day and age that everything is okay, everything's popular, and everything can be accepted. But what are the consequences of that? Like, I feel like people love attaching themselves to what it is that they feel like they identify with, but not too many people really stop to think about the consequences that come with that.
That's facts.
Let's talk about like what the male is in a household, right? And then what the men could have been to the community during that crack era as well. Not just crackheads, but people who got booked and still booked, sitting.
Yep.
There's still OGs that we should be like, oh, where the OGs at? Nigga, we know where the OGs at.
Right.
They in jail.
We know where they sitting. And with that absence in the community, it's like, damn, it can just be accessible with no real consequences, with no one really checking on you or really checking you personally.
Right. And
You know what I mean?
And to expand off of that, man, I feel like, just the state of everything, like the dating market, the workforce. It's a lot of things that were affected by that. And the thing is, it's like, I feel like the reason why the feminine, because we're at a point right now where the feminine, they're in full effect. Females have a lot more jobs and degrees and stuff than we do. And I feel like the main reason is because they've had this time to really tap in. Like we said, while we were getting booked, while we were dying, they were at home still taking care of the young bulls, and they stepped up. But it's to a point now where they had to, because they didn't have the masculine energy to balance them. They didn't have the dad to be like, no, you can't go out there and do that because you're going to be Faneet in 3 to 4 years, mentally, physically, and spiritually, with whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So they had to learn the hard way. And I feel like our role, man, we really got to just really stand in this energy as the masculine. Because a lot of women, and I've been noticing this recently, because of the lack of masculine energy, a lot of women don't know how to respond when they're met with true masculine energy. And they take it as disrespect, toxic masculinity.
I can't speak for the women, but toxic masculinity isn't a word. There's toxic and then there's masculinity. You can put them together.
You can't combine, because there is no toxic femininity. So how can only one side?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
In
It's
a
about
sense,
balance.
sure, you can
Both
put
exist.
them together. You know what I mean? Both exist.
Any
Y'all not about to get me out of here, but both exist. No, but
anybody can be toxic.
I feel like in the paradigm that we're in, because women had to play the role of both male figure and female figure, and then generationally, the women who then were the dominant figures. We talking great grandma, Meemaw.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
They instilled it in their daughters to say no to this, to act this way, and to not expect anything from a man. The best thing that we can do is be patient and show by example. Show by example what dominance looks like, as opposed to jumping into a position of trying to tell a woman what it is that she is supposed to do.
Exactly.
Because it's
a
misconception that women want to immediately assume a stance of dominance. In reality, women want to be able to release that guard. It's difficult for them, and it takes time for it to happen. But women are willing to do that for a man that can show and prove that he is the man that is supposed to be there and doing what it is that he's supposed to be doing. The problem is, enough of that doesn't happen. Like, how many black male teachers are in schools right now? In the school district that I work for, there's like 3 black teachers in that whole entire black male.
In my
teachers.
entire school experience, I've only had one black teacher, and that was Mr. Austin.
I've never had a black male teacher
in middle school.
I've never
And
had one black male
We had
teacher.
a black disciplinarian at.
Oh yeah,
at
Mr.
Beverly
Patterson.
At
Deep
VA.
ass,
God.
deep ass.
I hated that nigga.
Grog ass voice.
I hated
But that was
that
the only male figure that I remember, and he was the disciplinarian of the school too.
Right.
Outside of that, I can't name one.
You feel me?
That's facts.
So it's like, if it's not happening at home, if
It's not
it's
happening
not
at
enough
school.
like coach, it's not enough like coaches and stuff like that, and after school sports, like the only thing that we really get it from is experiences going to like the barbershop or some shit like that,
Or
and
in hip hop.
or with the few men that are in our family, because and I don't know how y'all families are, but there's a lot more women in my family than it is men.
Likewise.
And that's likewise, bro. And it's crazy. And I feel like that's why I feel like, if we're getting to the root, that's why I feel like, we are all accountable for our actions.
Yes, sir.
We can't change anyone, and we can't do anything. That's why I feel like I'm go back to my point earlier, why self-mastery is key. If you master yourself, you're gonna put yourself in the best position for everybody in your life. Okay. If you're mastered yourself, you can put your mom, your little sister, people in your family in a better position, and you can make better choices, so you can, when you're creating your own family, you feel me, you can be that backbone. You can be that structure. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we got to do. We literally got to be the changes we want to see.
Yeah.
Because sitting around waiting for somebody to build a platform.
Yeah, that mirror ugly,
You know what I
bro.
mean?
The mirror
It
is
gets
ugly.
bad, bro.
It is.
The
But
mirror is ugly.
also remember, like I was saying, the resources. When you have opportunities and you have avenues and channels to do stuff, it's easier to fulfill that. I remember leaving high school and being like, I really don't know what I got to do. But everybody was like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't think society makes it okay for you to be exploring to figure it out right after high school, because you gotta go to college. You know what I mean? And if that's not the norm right now for kids, it's like, what are you doing right after school if you're not trying to get money in the streets? So what's your main focus outside of that? What avenues do you have here in Philly aside from rapping?
And aside from playing ball.
Drilling, ball. Like, you don't have too many other things that you could really like tap into, or that is cool, but you have the space to do it like safely.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like a big problem in our communities is that everybody subconsciously is trained to idolize the people who they see physically getting money. So it's like, because we see rappers getting money, we always like, I gotta do that, or I gotta be the nigga hustling crack. But it's like, we don't get enough times and opportunities to sit down with doctors that's like us. Like, I know doctors that's cool as shit like us.
Yeah, no.
Black doctors. Like, I know nurses that's cool as shit. I know people who do real estate come in with a hoodie and a fitted on. You feel me?
Yeah.
We don't give children enough opportunities to actually have them conversations with them. Like other communities do, like the Asian community, like the white community does. They can go to other people and say, and have like rich dad, poor dad. Like, you can sit down and have that
literally
conversation.
had 2 dads. Most niggas ain't got
You can
one.
Right, you feel me? So I feel like
That's crazy.
I feel like down the line we need to create that platform of just cool black men that the younger generation can look to and be like, yeah, like, young boy, this is the way that I'm getting it. You don't gotta do it this way.
No, high key, bro. I was kind of blessed. I was kind of blessed with the rich dad, poor dad situation, because I actually did have 2 dads.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And, like, my dad, I
yeah.
actually have a dad that has horses and alpacas and shit. You know what I mean? And as a kid, I was like, this nigga's throat. You know what I mean? But he's not. Like, a lot of the stuff I thought wasn't cool or was dorky or whatever, the stuff he was getting into was like money and investing in real estate, home inspections. And I'm like, why would I get a certification right out of high school? Everyone's talking about it, you know, get a diploma. You got to get your diploma and get a degree in this. And he's like, nah, you get certifications in this, and that. They're going to pay you more. They're going to do, you know what I mean, he's giving me game. And high key, fresh out of high school, I didn't want to hear it.
Right.
I had another dad who, you know, he was in the streets his whole life. And then he got a job at Amtrak, and that was it. Like, that was it. You know what I mean? Till he's 40, 50 years old. You know what I mean? It was like, bro, if you're not going to go to Amtrak, it's like, what you going to do? Drive trains, or, you know what I mean? So situations like that in my life, I realized I had to sit back and be like, yeah, everyone's telling me to do this, do that, do this. Where I was rooted was, I saw Michael Jackson, bro. You see him do Billie Jean, you see all these moments. I'm like, it's not just for the fame, but it's like a certain sonic that I hear. It's a certain movement that like got my heart beating. And then when I'm going up to the county to see this dude dance in the basement, I'm like,
yeah, man.
I had those same moments. Or when I go to, you know, Kills in the county and we all jamming in the basement, you know what I mean, with Blanco and making music, bro, and really having fun. That's what I mean by having space and being able to do it safely and explore that and figuring it out. Because that helped, bro. That helped me be who I am right now.
Right now, bro.
Like, to this day.
Yeah.
To this day. To this day.
And that's the key, man. Like, creative expression is key. You feel me? Creative expression is what turns niggas from who would have been trappers and drug dealers or niggas on the street robbing niggas to rappers, artists, producers, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's also about access too.
Yeah,
bro.
Like,
So y'all know that I'm a reader, and every time I come over here, I'm talking about a different book that I read. But I'm reading this book called The Art of Impossible, and the section that I'm reading right now literally talks about how people with the highest flow state are the most successful, and the correlation behind that is whenever you're able to reach your highest level of flow state is when you subconsciously are able to just move as if everything that you're doing is a template. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's facts.
And like, creativity only comes with being able to get into that flow state, whether and in most instances it's doing it through play or something play like, because the experiences that you have when you're a child, they register into everything that you're ingrained to do. They did this experiment on 4-year-olds. Like, they took like 1,500 4-year-olds and they gave them this test on creativity.
That sounded crazy.
And everybody scored crazy high, right? And then they gave that same test to them 5 years later, and the scores started going down. And they gave it to them 5 years later, and the test scores went down again, like by 50%. And then they took 1,000 like 35-year-olds, and everybody failed. So it's like, the creativity that you have when you're a child and just being in that state of just play and experiencing things, they proved dwindles as you mature. Like that nature versus nurture. Like as life nurtures you, it completely dwindles. So it's very important that we find a way to get into that state of flow if you want to reach that highest level of success. The dude in the book who wrote it, he's like a surfer, and like he wrote for like he wrote articles for like X Games and shit like that.
That's fire.
Yeah, but yeah, like it don't matter what it is. Like if it's playing basketball, if that's your shit, skating is my shit. Like I love skateboarding. I'm about to get heavy into it again. I just don't want to fuck my ankle up again.
Bro, when I saw you posted that in your story, bro, I was like, my eyes literally lit up, bro. I was like, he's back. He's coming back, bro. Oh my God.
But you know what it is, bro? The thing about you skates, and I was telling you this before, man. You just need to find balance with the skating.
That's my problem, bro. Because you know me. Like
I do know you, bro. I'm saying is, I know you, but I'm saying for you to come at it with the mature,
that's what I'm doing mindset, this time, bro.
Because skates, I remember last time after he broke his ankle at FDR, you know, and his ankle literally popped out the socket.
He was there to see.
I was there. The nurse was like, "This is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen."
Yeah.
Oh my God,
bro, you could literally look into his ankle.
You can see,
like you could peer in, like where his ankle was is a hole.
I got photos. We got to put them right here.
Oh, man. Listen, I heard that story. I heard that story so many times. My stomach flips every time, bro. It just flips a little bit more because it feels like it's more descriptive. But
my problem is, and it may be an ADHD thing, but like.
He's gotta do a full send. He can't do a half send.
I'm either full send or I'm not at all. So it's like
how I am, bro.
I'll get back into it for like a week and it's like, damn, that kickflip was fun. Let's go hit that fucking 10-stair handrail.
And that's where the maturity and
that's why you need a pack.
Needs to come in.
Yeah. You gotta have a pack, bro. Look, you gotta go out with the pack. You can't just be hitting them guardrails because you do fall. You might not be able to reach your phone, to grab your phone out your pocket.
And you're older now. If you Faneet your ankle that way again, you're going to be Faneet.
Yeah,
and that right there is a Faneet. like literally, bro. Like that'll be a Faneet. Cause I remember how long you was out of commission for, and I was just like, damn, bro. I said, my nigga can't dance. Bro. Skates can't skate or dance.
It didn't make sense, bro.
I used to dance with Rennie Harris Pure Movement and with Rennie Harris Raw. Shout out to those guys.
Shout out
I love
to
y'all,
Bugs too, man.
Yeah, man. But that week that I did that, tell you how crazy it was. That Friday that I did that, like 3 days later was our premiere, like world premiere that we did at the Suzanne Roberts Theater.
Damn,
and I wasn't able to perform that. And it crushed me. Like I literally, they told me I wasn't going to be able to dance after that, bro. I was down for like 8 months. Like
I know
that was a dark period.
I'm glad you came out of it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Man.
And I'm glad you're going back into it with this new venture. But like I said, bro, just be safe.
Have the balance, bro. Have the discernment. Literally have the discernment to be like, you know what? This is fun, but I'm not going to try to hit 8 set because I got a family and I have a career that I'm on the peak of exploding into.
On the horizon,
literally.
I'm literally just keeping it at flip tricks and flatland.
Word.
I know if I go any crazier than that, like no grinds, none of that.
I'm keeping it beam, man.
Flatland.
I literally just miss like just skating.
That's why the Phillies got So if the Phillies win, maybe we need to like.
I will
put
buy
this
a board.
If the Phillies win, so you missed it the last time. But last time the Phillies win, it was my senior year. We skated from 15th Street all the way to FDR. Because the street was that open.
It's gonna be fucking.
It was all types of white craziness going on, but that we seen along the way. But like that'll never happen again. So if they win again, I'm trying to get like 40 people out to do that shit again.
I'm gonna definitely be there, bro. I'm gonna definitely be there side by side.
Well, I mean, we'll know about.
I'm gonna need a deck.
We'll know about what. We'll know about like next week.
Matter of fact, who winning?
Yeah, who's winning right now?
Hey Siri, who's winning the Phillies game?
0-0.
All right, 0-0 right now. All right.
Well, anything of the end.
Bottom of the third.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. We need this one or we need the next one.
Go Phils.
No bet.
Go Phils.
Listen, man.
So last time we came on here, right? And it's gonna be a tidbit for the artists and the creatives listening. Last time we came on here, we had the combo and we were like, yeah, we know so many dope artists in the city who have projects out, who have music out, who killed shows, who've done it all. And the biggest thing that we've realized, the question was like, they're doing all these things, but what is it that's stopping them from getting to that next level? And since then, I've figured out an answer. Shout out to Chill Moody. Yeah, man. I was with shout out to Chimway. I was just having a convo with him last week, man. After shooting some content, just picking his brain, and I was asking like, "Yo, what is it like that next tier of artists like they need to just get to that level of? We're not talking about fame or anything. We're just talking about breaking ground." And he was saying like it's branding.
Yeah.
And I was like, elaborate. He was just saying it's branding.
Listen,
He said he said I didn't get to where I am. He said most of the people you're looking at don't get to where they are purely from their musical ability. Their brand gets to a point where it's so undeniable and it's so strong that they know where they can place you. They know how to make money off of you.
Yeah.
Because this is your brand. Oh, we know for a fact you can go here. The ad dollars get easier. The ROI gets more. It gets easier and easier. So
the leverage that you have as an artist gets easier. That's how you don't get finessed in a deal. Like, you don't want to sign until your brand is so strong that it's undeniable that they don't offer you what we know as the 360 deal. They offer you a publishing deal. Shout out to Blanc.
Shout out to Armani White. Armani, my man Blanco, he put enough respect and time and value into his craft that they gave him a couple deals and he said no. And when they finally gave him one, it was respectable. And he's not even signed. He's a partner.
But that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. It's the only one. I went on Spotify. Everybody's music at the bottom says who the label is. Def Jam 2020, Revolt, this or whoever, whatever. His joint is the only one I seen that says Legend Bound 2022 under exclusive license to Def Jam. And I was like, wow. So just the point we're making, man, is just like ownership, creativity, and branding. Like, focus on your brand.
But also, like, a quick tidbit about branding. Like, even if you're not a hip hop artist, just picture a bottle of bleach. I know we were talking about this.
We talked about this the other day.
A bottle of bleach that has nothing on it versus a bottle of bleach that has marketing, like the brand, what's inside
the name of it,
the name of it, colors, things that are going to attract you. I'm gonna buy the thing that I know that has information. So it's like, we got to be more accessible, not just as artists, but whatever your business is.
Whatever it is.
You know what I mean? Just branding, not just putting yourself out there, but the right way.
And if you don't know where to start, go to Virgil's website, Virgil Eazymelow. He literally has a website where he gives nothing but free game on how to start your brand, how to develop who you are as a person and to formulate your own thought so that when you finally are ready to finalize your brand, it makes sense as to why it is that you buy a logo. Like, I'm just reading what he has on his website right now. How to name your brand, how to obtain a trademark, how to use Adobe Creative Suite, how to make screen prints, how to find blanks. Like, he literally, before he left, and thank the Lord for him, before he left, he literally dropped the game on us on how to do everything. And like, a lot of people look at Virgil and be like, oh, like, I really don't understand, but I'm gonna get this Virgil. Like, no, like, the whole point of everything that Virgil was doing, even in doing something as simple as putting Off-White on a Nike, is to really like explore becoming your own brand. Because in his day and age, and he's not too much older than I am, I'm 31, in his day and age, everybody used to just draw on their sneakers. Or when I didn't have bread, like, I used to shop at Foreman Mills, but I would like draw my own logos on my clothes so dope that everybody be like, damn, that's fire. Where did you cop that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even remember Kurt. He'd go up to KOP and get the
Exactly.
airbrush drawings.
You feel
on
me?
his sneaks.
So like,
that's fire.
he capitalized on the fact that like that was a generation that he did, but from that time period and that paradigm, like, he built his own brand and just kept running with it. It's very possible for anybody to build a brand, regardless of what it is that you do, what kind of art. Like, you wanna go anywhere, study marketing and study branding.
Facts.
Yeah, and I feel like that, man, that's the bomb we're gonna leave you guys with, man.
Yeah.
Like, so just to recap, man,
Going ham over
just
there.
to recap, man, everybody out there, creators, man, focus on your brand, focus on branding yourself and really branding who you are. Don't try to be something you're not with the branding, because it's gonna come off as inauthentic. Maybe not at first, but eventually we're all human. You slip up, you're not aligned with your brand's aligned with, it's gonna suffer. So make yourself the brand.
And
Find
also,
a way.
tidbit, my fault to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Piggybacking off what you said earlier, self-mastery. Figuring yourself out first. Having that time to really figure it out before you have your brand. Like,
It's a lot more psychological than you think. Like,
It's a
you're gonna start
process.
you're gonna look at the website, and then you're gonna look at other stuff on YouTube, and it's gonna force you to answer questions about yourself that really forces you to think on a very, very deep and conscious level of who it is that you are.
That is facts. That's why I'm not done my homework yet.
Yeah, it takes a while, man.
I'm still doing my branding homework.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I was looking at it like,
shit.
damn, I'm still finishing it, you know what I mean? But listen, that's the game, man. So yeah, man. This is Faneet the Podcast, man, episode 3. We appreciate everybody that's been showing the love too, man. Also, man, keep following us, man. Follow our Instagram page. We're about to expand. We're about to get about to get a Facebook page. You know, about to get it all popping. But listen, man, just keep tapping in. Everyone, stay creative.
Yes, sir.
Stay focused. Just leave the distractions alone.
Tap in with us directly through the Think Mob Discord. Again, the link will be in the description. We want to hear from all of y'all, and we like building with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Real rap. We like to not even just build, but we like to talk. We like to have the constructive criticism. We like all that. So please drop a comment, like, subscribe. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, this is I'm already Faneet. This is Faneet the Podcast, and we are
Finny.
No, you did it too early.
Damn.
You had to wait. This is Faneet the Podcast, and we are